Hey, Coach.
In his 4th year as the athletic director at Auburn High School, Brad Pemberton has a lot on his plate.
That is the work that I'm happy to do because now we get to put athletes back on the court, on the field, and in practices, and it's great to have all these kids back in the gym.
After the IHSA announced earlier this week that winter sports could return to competition as early as next week, athletic directors are rushing to get everything in order.
Most of my coaches are like, Brad, can I play practice today? The meeting's on Wednesday. Do you have the info yet? Coach, I ain't got it yet. They're just thrilled. They're itching to get back at it.
Administrators from the NIC-10 met on Wednesday regarding the upcoming schedule.
You know, we did the winter sports, and now we're meeting on Tuesday again now as a conference to talk about football, soccer, and volleyball.
Outside of trying to find opponents on such short notice, there are other difficulties at play.
So obviously the logistics of having a home event, it changes. You really got to change your thinking. You got to be creative about, entrances and exits. Spacing in a situation where maybe you normally would, put your whole program on one bus, now you're taking 2.
Despite these obstacles, Pemberton has his eyes set on the bigger picture.
The opportunity for the kids to play is there, and that's the main thing.
The boys and girls basketball season is set to start on February 9th, with each school hosting one of the 2 teams.
So we'll be playing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. If we're playing, let's say, Jefferson, I'll host the boys, girls will go to Jefferson. And so they both play the same night, and it'll just be opposite sites.
As of now, no decision has been made whether or not fans will be allowed to attend games. Although it's been an uphill battle getting to this point, Pemberton can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
When they finally got the clearance to go back and play, I'm beyond thrilled. I'll work 24 hours a day to make sure that these kids can play.
Walking into the Seaver Center at Rockford University, you can feel the energy at practice.
We're blessed. We're really fortunate.
Everyone is just happy to be back.
We're really excited to be on the court.
The last time they shared the floor together was last February.
Sitting in those days in March and April, I would have given anything to run a suicide. I know that sounds crazy, but you really appreciate being able to step out on the court and do what you love to do, no matter what it is.
In mid-December, the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference approved an adjusted schedule for basketball to be played in the spring season.
I'm from Indiana, so I've watched my whole entire, my family, but my brother and sister have been playing basketball the whole time that I've been told I can't be in the gym. All my friends and family are playing, so it's been really hard.
This off-season challenged them to find extra motivation.
It makes it hard to come in every day and put in the work because you don't know what it's for, but we have such a great coaching staff and a great group of guys that you don't even care about that. You're coming in because it's such a good time, it's such a great atmosphere.
With the changes, there's been less time for teams to get ready for the season. And in terms of whether it's enough time?
It is this year. Normally I would say no, but it makes you adapt and overcome some things that maybe you didn't think in the past you'd be able to do.
With their first game right around the corner, they're always looking at the big picture.
That's just part of life. As we go through life, basketball is kind of a microcosm of life. We're going to go through some difficult things, find a way to adapt and overcome them.
Hey, don't break on 3, family on 6, 1, 2, 3, don't break, 4, 5, 6. Hey,
Inside Don Carter lanes and bowling alleys around the state of Illinois, high school teams are preparing for their first and last practices of the foreseeable future. Earlier this week, Governor Pritzker issued new coronavirus mitigations, and effective Friday, November 20th, bowling alleys will be shut down, all but canceling the upcoming academic season.
It put our business at risk, and then obviously the high school season at risk as well.
Brad Summer is the head bowling coach at Hononegah High School and is also the general manager of Don Carter Lanes, an establishment his family has owned since the late 1950s. If Governor Pritzker were standing in front of you, what would you say to him?
Use some common sense. We're doing this safely. We have a facility here of 50,000 square feet, and you're telling me we can't have one bowler in here and do it safely? That's insane. It's like the governor is picking who can survive financially by industry. That just doesn't sit right.
Lanes that were recently filled with excited students will soon be empty. Until the Double Doink halted a 2018 season that exceeded all expectations, the Chicago Bears appeared to be on the cusp of greatness.
We got to learn from what has happened in that Philadelphia Eagles game in 2018 and what has happened in this Saints game in 2020.
And now, after back-to-back 8-8 seasons,
just 3 days off, a playoff loss, I have a lot of mixed emotions.
As do Bears fans, who have been left with a bad taste in their mouth.
It's a production-based business. The only thing we can do, and y'all have heard me say this all year long, is you figure out solutions.
For this team, there's been no greater hurdle than their inability to find a franchise quarterback.
It's a collaborative effort, a free agency, trade, draft.
And in terms of who they might look to bring in at quarterback, including re-signing Mitchell Trubisky?
Everything's on the table right now, but I just have a ton of confidence attacking it together.
The term together continues to leave Bears fans both puzzled and concerned.
I get the frustration. Trust me, I understand. I get it.
That their GM and head coach might mortgage the future of the franchise in order to salvage their jobs after next season.
Talking about contracts, to me, that's a selfish way to look at things. To me, it's what's best for our football team. And that's all that matters.
The outlook for this team in 2021 is filled with uncertainty. Although they may not have earned it, ownership has bestowed upon them their trust in correcting course.
We all have high expectations.
Just like everybody agrees.
And 2020 wasn't good enough.
8-8 is not good enough.
Is losing in the first round of the playoffs good enough? No.
We know that. Our players know it.
And ownership has given us an opportunity.
We all want more. We all want better.
And now that's on Matt and I to prove them right.
If you're not familiar with the name Bobby Seymour, you might want to look him up. You know what? I'll save you some time. He's one of the best hitters in college baseball, and you can watch him right here in Rockford. At 6'4", 250 pounds, he's built like a tight end. In fact, on the first day after transferring to his new high school, Mount Carmel, the football coach recruited him for the team. His focus had been on the baseball field, and as a senior, he tore it up. Seymour had a .545 batting average, launching 15 home runs and knocking in 48 RBIs, while only striking out 11 times.
I was pretty set on going to Wake Forest. I was excited to go there and get down, kind of get into college life and see what could happen.
That's a bomb to right.
During his sophomore year, he finished with a .377 batting average and drove in 93 runs, ultimately being named ACC Player of the Year.
I was just really locked in and, kind of just stuck to my approach. And, our lineup, was pretty crazy. Everybody in the lineup was hitting well. So getting those guys on and just saw the ball well and kind of everything, I guess, took care of itself.
Seymour has seen friends and former teammates get drafted to the MLB. One of them just so happens to be the Cubs' first-round pick, Ed Howard, and the two were working out together on draft day.
We were lifting about 9 in the morning. I see him getting all his stuff ready. He's picking out his shirt, he's getting his watch, everything. So I just told him good luck and, gave him a hug.
Until he gets his shot with the Major League organization, he'll keep improving his game with the Rivets.
In that minor league schedule, and I think it's a lot like, kind of what we're doing here, traveling a lot and playing all over and, playing great competition. So I definitely think this is pretty similar and, I'm hopefully excited to start that journey next year.